I can't give you an answer on marriage. I'm not ready to marry anyone. I don't feel like I'm being heard.
You are being heard.
I don't feel like I'm being heard.
Would you shut up? I don't deserve the drama anymore. I don't deserve the heartbreak. I don't deserve it anymore.
All right, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Today's video made me feel like I warped myself into an alternate reality because I really thought this train wreck between Big Ed and Liz this season could not get worse. It in fact does. They have another massive fight here. And I'm not gonna spoil anything, but Liz has become like the opposite of the person she used to be. And I don't want to spoil too much, but I'm just gonna tell you this episode is pretty much comprised of Liz begging Ed to stay with her and want to marry her. That's right. If that doesn't break your brain, I don't know what will. Make sure you watch it till the very end. But anyways, besides all that, let's get into the video, shall we?
Ed seeing his mom again, it makes me worried because she was the main reason why Ed and I broke up so many times in the past.
So we see Liz here on her way to go meet with her boss. She is finally going to make a decision with this work thing. And for those of you that don't know what's going on, basically she works at this kind of fancy restaurant and is literally being offered a partnership in this restaurant that is hopefully going to start having other, locations. They're going to franchise and everything. So literally Liz could be made a millionaire overnight if she plays her cards right. And she might possibly say no to this simply because Big Ed wants her to be his house slave 24/7 and she would be away from home for too long. As if being away from that greaseball is actually like a bad thing. No, that's the best part of your day, probably.
And we would want you to be here and help me look for investors.
Okay.
And to expand. We've decided to make it a 10% equity.
So that's right, she gets a 10% stake in this restaurant chain, and this guy is saying, look, we're killing it over here, super busy. I'm just gonna start getting investors and opening up other restaurants, and those you'll be 10% owner of as well. So like I said in the intro, Liz could make an insane amount of money from this, yet her face in this entire conversation, granted you haven't seen much of it yet, looks worried, as if she's about to let this guy down, and she's like going into this meeting knowing that she shouldn't take this offer. I'm gonna flat out say it, if she does not take this offer, that will be the biggest failure that she has ever made in her own life. Because it's not often that you get handed an opportunity like this. Not even handed. I'm sure she's worked her ass off at this restaurant in order to be recognized like this. So why throw that all away for some disgusting pig that you want to spend your life with for some reason?
I've had to think about a lot if this would come in between Ed and I. That was a factor in the beginning. I hope he would be my partner and be by my side.
And dude, I don't know, she sounded like she's really gonna side with Ed on this. Seriously, if this is even in consideration here, again, if I was this boss, I would almost like take back the offer because it shouldn't even be a thing you have to worry about. If you've seen this couple's relationship, I'm sure he's been here while they've been messy and fighting on one of their nights, maybe even when the camera crew is not with them. But there is so much drama and toxicity in this relationship, and you're about to hand somebody a life-changing promotion, and they're like, let me think about it, because I might have to not be around my slug of a future husband, much throughout the day, and that kind of bothers me. Like, what? You can't give up a little bit of that in order to secure financial freedom for you and your daughter, which is like the main thing that Liz wants in her life?
This is a really, really, really great opportunity. It's a great opportunity for my daughter. So yes, I would be crazy if I didn't. Yeah,
yes.
I'm in.
Oh, thank God. Oh my, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, beyond the show, just for Liz's life overall, that again, like I said, would have been the worst mistake she could ever possibly make. Thank God she was thinking with, whatever brain cells she has left that Big Ed hasn't caused to just self-implode in her brain, because I swear she's gotten dumber while being with this guy. But you can't be so dumb that you don't take this offer. I mean, seriously, her and her daughter are set as long as this restaurant continues to work out like it seems to be.
Thanks, Chef.
Right.
Yeah. You're the first person that really, truly made me feel like someone can believe in me, by the way. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is actually the saddest moment of all time. I know that was supposed to be heartfelt, but listen to what Liz just said to her boss. She literally is like, by the way, you're the first person like in my entire life to ever make me feel like I can believe in myself. So thank you. Like, okay, first off, it's sad enough that nobody in your life has made you feel that way. Like, that is just purely heartbreaking that you are in your 30s or however old she is. I forget at this point. And no one's made you feel that way. But also, let's just think about the fact that you are engaged to this man who you say is the love of your life, and he has not made you feel that way once. I mean, it makes sense. Big Ed does everything in his power to tear this poor woman down and just mess with her psyche and make sure that she knows that she is on his slimy level, even if it's not true. But wow, that is telling of how low she thinks of Ed and how little she's gotten from this relationship.
I'm ready to put myself first. He gets to choose to stay because I should not be in a position where I have to choose him or work.
Oh God, Ed's gonna see this footage and see her hugging her boss, and now this is gonna be all the content for the possible cheating allegations in season 3 or whatever the hell it's gonna be. For real though, that is amazing. Now we're gonna fast forward to the point where Big Ed and Liz have a conversation about this new work development that has happened that kind of seemed to include a lack of, you know, Big Ed's input and control over the situation, which I'm sure is going to be a big sore point for him as he wants to just control Liz's life as if she is one of his kids or something.
Why are you being so quiet? Talk to me about Encontro.
I mean, just listen to the way he says that. That's the name of her restaurant, by the way, Encontro, that she's now partner of. And he just sounds salty already. I don't know if this dude just woke up because he looks like all puffy-eyed and tired, but it just seems like he's kind of being an ass to her already for no reason. Like, oh, why are you being so quiet? Tell me about this new career you're supposed to have, while like rolling his eyes. Man's so passive-aggressive, it's unreal.
There's a possibility he could break up with me, but I can't keep it from him. I have to tell him what I decided.
And I'm not gonna lie, the way that Liz just phrased that shows the tiniest bit of personal growth and the tiniest bit of hope that this relationship might not work out, which I actually think is going to be the best for her life situation, obviously. Pretty obvious thing I just stated, most of us would agree there, but her saying, hey, he might break up with me for this, but I can't keep it from him and it's what I did, oops, kind of is like, okay, maybe this is finally the thing that I can use as a big send-off now that this season's wrapping up on filming. I don't have to be around this freaking slob anymore. Let me just find a good reason for him to hate me so he can look like the bad guy. That is actually 3,000 IQ from Liz. Get that bag and dip, and then wait until it runs out, and hopefully it won't now that you're a partner of the you know, restaurant and everything. But when that next season comes around, then you can fall in love with him, whatever it might be. That seems to be the typical pace of their relationship so far. It seems to pick up quite a bit during the filming of these seasons.
I don't have to put any money in to become partner. I'll be getting a raise, health insurance.
Yeah, you can state 1,000 positives to this, and Big Ed is just gonna see the negatives still. He's not gonna be happy for you. You can see it on his face already. This dude is just like distraught at the idea of him not having unlimited access to his girlfriend 24/7 and her having an actual life of her own. It's his actual true nightmare. But also, that's another element to this. I mean, it's sad, but she didn't even have health insurance for herself or her daughter, and we all know how stressful that can be. So, I mean, even that element of it alone should be enough to make Ed realize, okay, the manliest response I can do is to be supportive of my girlfriend, fiance, whatever she is, and be happy for her. But I just know this dude's about to throw a hissy fit.
And I did tell him I'm gonna take the position.
Oh, you did?
And that is the face of disappointment. That is when you get your report card letter in the mail. Wow, that might have just dated me. I'm sure it's all online now. But that is when your parent sees your report card and just stares at you with that look of disdain, like, why did I even create you? Although, let's just remind ourselves, this is his girlfriend he's looking down upon like that, not actually his child. And the news that he's reacting this poorly to is that she got a life-changing promotion. So this dude's a dirtbag. I'm sorry. There's no way around it. Look at that reaction alone.
I would never try to hold you back. And I'll support you, but as long as you're supporting this relationship and me.
Wow, and listen to that. The true colors have come out. The but statement is really what you need to pay attention to, that second half of that sentence. You know, I love you and I care about you, but I need to make sure that you care about me in the ways that, you know, I need you to care about me. I think at this point, maybe Ed is just so old that he just realizes he's going to need some serious care and he doesn't want to pay for a senior center. And this is his biggest chance to have somebody basically be his keeper. You know what I'm saying? He needs someone to change his diapers once he has to start using those. And that's the only reason he's so salty and against the idea of her having more time away from home.
I mean, am I a little bothered? But...
And you can see the tears welling up in Liz's eyes as she realizes this is not the response I wanted, but it's the one I expected. I mean, how often do you have to be disappointed by this freaking scumbag to realize you don't have to be with him? I'm done feeling sorry for your ass, too. Like, at this point, it's just funny to me. I'm sorry, but it is.
I'm proud of myself. I got here by myself, and I think that's rewarding after everything that I've been through.
And Liz has to give herself her own pat in the back, like, oh, I'm proud of myself. I know you won't say it, and you're probably not thinking it, but damn it, I'm proud of myself. And you know what, Liz? I'm proud of you too, because this whole thing was done without Ed's help, and I think that's also another element of why he's so salty about the idea of her progressing in her career without any involvement with him, because it shows that she needs him less and less, and he needs that control in order to feel like he can even remain in this relationship with her. And
now that I know that we're fully in this together, I think marriage has been weighing on my mind a lot.
And here is where things start to shift out of nowhere. I get so confused by this, but wait until you see this fight that's about to freaking happen between these two because of the fact that Liz brings up wanting to actually be married. I think they agreed at some point. It's so confusing that they don't have to get married anytime soon because they realized we do have a lot of issues we need to iron out. But now that she's getting this big career move, she's like, you know what? Let's commit. Let's get a house together like we were saying. Let's get married. And now Ed is the one that needs to be convinced, which I thought would never freaking happen.
Right now, I can't give you an answer on marriage. I'm not ready to marry anyone. I'm just not ready. I don't.
Now you tell me if he actually means this or if he's just saying this out of spite so he could get some of his in this argument. You know, he's angry that she made that decision on her own. Now I think he's truly just acting out like a little toddler, throwing a tantrum like, well, I didn't say I was going to marry you right now, and I don't even know if I want to marry you anymore, so probably won't even marry me. Like, dude, what the hell are you even saying? You have been so desperate for this woman your entire life, and now that you have her, you act like, oh yeah, I don't really want to get married, even though I bought you this $14,000 ring, whatever the hell it cost.
I know, but it is something that as I'm thinking about the future and now, like,
I am not going to be pressured into getting married.
And listen to how defensive he's getting. He's like, I'm not going to be pressured into getting married. You tried to pressure me our entire relationship. I know it was me that was trying to rush everything, and I'm the creepo that even started this relationship in the first place. But you know what? I'm not going to rush into getting married because I can't trust you. You made a decision on your own, and I don't like that.
I was just saying I would like to think or you are being heard.
I don't feel like I'm being heard.
Would you shut up so I can explain to you that you were heard?
Oh my God, dude. And things are popping off out of nowhere for no reason once again. All because Ed is just some silly little toddler man. And now the roles have completely reversed. You got Liz telling Ed to shut up. This just feels like a freaking fever dream. Or this feels like a Freaky Friday scenario where both of them have just swapped bodies but kept their original personalities. I am so confused at this.
I'm not telling you I don't want to marry you. Baby, I'm not saying that. I'm just not ready.
The most confusing thing too is finally Liz is getting a bag of her own. So like you'd think at this point Ed would be like, okay, now it's my dream woman plus she's making her own money. Yeah, let's get married. Like it seems like a pretty good time, but this dude is fighting back like crazy. And I think it's driving Liz mad at this point. I just want to get off this roller coaster, please. I'm like throwing up and they're just keeping it going. I keep passing where the operator is, expecting it to stop, but I'm just doing laps on this roller coaster and I hate it.
All I hear is excuse after excuse. I think Ed and I are too different to make this work long term. I don't deserve it anymore.
So surprisingly, this is where they leave us off before going to the tell-all, which is a more in-person kind of retrospective type thing. It's a 4-parter, which is insane. So don't worry, we're not out of Ed videos yet, but this is like kind of the end of the filming session they had. And I say this every time, but this might truly be the end of these two. I hope to God that it is, and we get some explosive fireworks in that tell-all. So make sure you stay tuned, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss that when it happens. Shout out to my patrons for the support as always. Let me know what you thought of this episode down in the comments below. I might have already said that. And as always, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until next time, peace out.